Pot by Shamshad Khan. This is one of those poems whose title tells you exactly what the poem is about, a pot. More precisely, the speaker in the poem directly addresses a Nigerian pot that has been displayed in a museum. She speaks with interest and intimacy and is clearly curious about the pot's story and background. She wonders how the pot arrived in England and whether it was bought, mistakenly taken, or even stolen. She then imagines how the pot's original owner would have missed it because it was useful and perhaps cherished. This leads to the speaker wishing that she could return the pot back to its country or culture of origin. The speaker feels a connection with the pot because she too has roots in a foreign culture in Asia, and she reassures the poet that its owners would be pleased to see the pot again, just as her relations were when she visited. The monologue concludes with the speaker telling the pot to imagine itself back in its homeland, fulfilling its true purpose, before asking the pot to make a noise if it can hear her. After the poem's end, there is a humorous dedication to the pot which inspired the poem and which is being kept against its will in a Manchester museum. Underneath the humour, though, there is a more serious message which indicates the poem's overall purpose. This is linked to how many British museums contain artefacts from other countries and cultures. A lot of these were taken without permission, particularly during the 18th and 19th centuries, when European powers were colonising large swathes of the world, such as in Africa and Southern Asia. Consequently, today, the former colonies of these European empires have asked for the return of what they insist are their objects. This is known as restitution and has led to some significant objects being returned, such as the Benin bronzes to Nigeria. It is a controversial topic, but it is clear on which side Khan sits based on this poem. First of all, Khan anthropomorphizes the pot to help create more empathy from the reader and sympathy for the pot's situation. Notice also how it is referred to as pot, not the pot or a pot. It's given an identity and a life, and by deliberately repeating its name so often, asserts its identity. In contrast, the use of the pronoun they to refer to the colonizers or looters or authorities anonymizes them and feels dismissive and disparaging. The pot's autonomy has been taken by others, which symbolizes what happened to many indigenous cultures under empire. The unjust treatment and sidelining of the pot by the powerful mirrors the oppression of imperial rule. Moreover, the they overlook or mistake the pot's actual practical function. The caring and thoughtful creation of the pot by its maker is another contrast with the mistreatment of they who have imprisoned the pot in a glass case in a museum. The speaker is particularly moved by the pot's plight, because she recognises in his story her own as the British-born child of immigrants from Pakistan. She too is somewhat caught between two cultures and is self-conscious about her otherness, a common theme of post-colonial or migrant literature. Therefore, the poem also raises issues about identity and belonging. In the poem, though, the speaker stresses that she found acceptance with her foreign relations, implying hope and understanding. Khan has said that she wanted to imply that the pot replies at the very end with the second question, in other words, is that you, pot? Indicating that the pot has replied. Alternatively, the repetition of pot could suggest that the pot is still not responding. A noticeable feature of the poem's style is the consistent use of non-grammatical lowercase lettering. This reinforces the sense of rejection of rules and authority implicit in the voice and mood of the poem, hinting at a sense of rebelliousness, which is fitting given that the poem's message is quite anti-establishment. It also makes the poem feel more relaxed and casual, befitting an intimate conversation between two people or kindred spirits. The idea of being caught between two cultures and not being sure where you belong is a key idea explored by many of the poems in the Worlds and Lives collection, such as A Portable Paradise, On an Afternoon Train, With Birds You're Never Lonely, Like an Heiress, and Name Journeys. Injustice is experienced by the pot in Khan's poem and is also a theme of 13, England 1819, and A Century Later.